Hello and welcome to Dental Studies Simplified. I am Dr. Ankita Kotecha and today's topic is assessment of tooth mobility. Before talking about assessment of tooth mobility, let us discuss tooth mobility in brief. All teeth are basically or usually associated with some amount of mobility. This is physiologic tooth mobility and the value is 0.2 mm horizontally and 0.02 mm axially. Any values beyond these values are pathologic tooth mobility. But there are few cases which are associated with mobility and that mobility is neither physiologic nor pathologic. Few such cases are: 1. Trauma from occlusion. Yes, the cardinal manifestation of trauma from occlusion is increased tooth mobility. Now you will say trauma from occlusion is a pathology. Of course, trauma from occlusion is a pathology, but the mobility in trauma from occlusion is not pathologic. It is an adaptive response of the periodontal tissues towards the excessive occlusal forces. The tissues are trying to adapt to those occlusal forces which are excessive to the periodontium. The periodontium perceives them to be excessive. Maybe they are not excessive, but the periodontium is unable to handle them and hence they find them excessive and so trying to adapt to those forces, and that is why this mobility. So the increased tooth mobility in trauma from occlusion is actually a good response, is a positive response and adaptive response of the tissues towards occlusal forces. So it is not pathologic. Of course, it is neither physiologic nor pathologic. This trauma from occlusion, if reevaluated subsequently, we will have two case scenarios. Either this increased tooth mobility is stable. In that case, this increased tooth mobility is neither physiologic nor pathologic. But if this increased tooth mobility becomes increasing tooth mobility, that is progressive tooth mobility, then it may be recategorized as pathologic tooth mobility. Until then, it is neither physiologic nor pathologic. It is just an adaptive response of the tissue towards occlusal forces. Next category which is associated with mobility is surgical flaps. That is post-surgery. After flap surgery, the post-operative visit will always have certain amount of teeth mobility because this duration is temporary and associated or coincides with the duration of healing of the periodontium. Post-surgical healing, remodeling. So this mobility is transient, is temporary and it gets stable or reverses with time depending on the type of healing that takes place post-surgery. Now coming back to assessment of tooth mobility. So now that we know tooth is mobile, how to assess the mobility? Although various indices, various classifications or grading and scoring criteria are available, but still the most commonly used one is Miller's index. Miller gave this index to assess the tooth mobility. He gave the scores, score 0, 1, 2 and 3. Where 0 is no movement, no detectable movement of teeth when forces are applied. 1 is barely distinguishable. That is, when forces are applied, we perceive it as the tooth might have moved. Yes, it is a subjective index. This is one drawback, but still it is used. So we are discussing the same. Score 1 is barely distinguishable. That is, we as the operator feels the tooth moved somewhat. And that is why it is called barely distinguishable. Score 2 is crown movement up to 1 mm. We know physiologic tooth mobility is 0.2 mm horizontally and 0.02 mm axially. So when the forces are applied in all the directions for any scoring, all the directions, that is faciolingually, mesiodistally and axially, if the crown moves up to 1 mm, that is less than 1 mm, then it is score 2. And if the crown moves more than 1 mm in any direction, or if the crown is depressible in the socket or is rotating in the socket, then it is score 3. This is Miller's criteria, Miller's index for scoring the tooth mobility. Coming to how to perform this assessment using this index, again, no fancy requirements, no armamentarium of a special manner, very basic armamentarium, actually no special armamentarium. We require blunt end of the instruments. So doesn't matter which instrument we use, but it has to have blunt ends. So there are two methods. Actually the method is same, but it can be performed in two manners. So yes, let's say This is our tooth. So the tooth is held between the blunt end of two instruments, or one blunt end and one finger. These are the two manners in which this method can be applied. The method is same, holding the tooth between two blunt ends of the instrument, or one blunt end or finger. Ideally it is holding the tooth and applying forces in all the directions, that is facially, mesiodistally and axially, and then assess it with the help of this scoring criteria. This is the simple assessment method of assessing tooth mobility. No fancy armamentarium, no special probes or other such instruments required. The only requirement is the blunt ends of any instruments, but it has to have blunt ends, that's it. So to quickly summarize, Miller's criteria: 0 stands for no detectable movement of teeth when forces are applied. 1 is barely distinguishable, that is we perceive it to be moved somewhat. 2 is crown movement which is up to 1 mm, and 3 is crown movement greater than 1 mm or depressible in the socket or rotates in the socket. Coming to the drawbacks, yes, it is entirely subjective. First is the force is applied and the direction of the force is applied. It varies from person to person. Second is a human's inability to distinguish between each scoring, that is barely distinguishable or up to 1 mm. That is visual assessment of these 1 mm criteria scores is quite difficult. So these are the drawbacks associated with this index, but because it is most commonly applied and hence it is discussed in today's video. But if your college or your setup uses any other criteria, any other index for tooth mobility, and you want me to discuss the same, please comment it down in the comment section below or mail it to me at my email ID dentalstudiessimplified@gmail.com. For today's video, I hope the topic is clear to you all. The topic assessment of tooth mobility and how to assess the tooth mobility. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching and listening to me. Study well. Have a good day. Stay safe.